I feel like if Nana K and Nana O would have really just been together, I don't know if it would have been healthy. I don't think so. Would it have worked? Yes, it would have worked, right? Because Nana K, she has to center somebody. She has not went through that self-love arc yet. She has to center somebody, right? And Nana O, she has abandonment issues. So she needs somebody to choose her, okay? And always choose her. Always be there. Always be like that reliable source of like love and support. She has a huge void because of her mom. Nobody gonna be able to really fill that void. Rin wasn't able to really feel it. Like, because she's always going to need more, right? That's why, even though Rin wasn't, he was still in the picture, she still wanted Yasu. She still wanted Nana K. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember that part where Rin was like, what would make you happy, Nana O? Like, what would make you happy? Would you be happy if Rin stopped, having a girlfriend? If I leave Trap Nest? If Hachi wasn't pregnant? And she was like, in her head, she was like, yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Yeah. Like, it's she wouldn't just be able to have one person. She would need more. You get me? So I don't even think Hachi would be enough. I don't even think Nana K would really truly be enough. I feel like for a little while it would. But and then the thing is, at some point, Nana K, because when people are nice to her, she start centering other people. Like, I feel like Nana K, all it's gonna take is for somebody handsome. It would be a man too. It would be a man. For Nana K, all it would take is for somebody handsome to start, glazing her, okay, gassing her up, doing this, doing that, and she would slip. She would slip in some way, shape, or form. If not physically, if she wouldn't cheat physically, she would start cheating emotionally. Okay, she would start cheating in that way, or mentally, or this, that, and third. And it's just because, again, like, Nana K, she's afraid of being alone, but also, like, she needs therapy. Honestly, everybody in Nana needs therapy. So I could see the problem being like, okay, it works because Nana K centers Nana O, so she's her biggest fan. She's always there, this, that, and the third, just whatever. And Nana O, it works because she has her person just, there. But then I could also see it being like on Nana O's side, her, maybe being a little too territorial, too possessive, right? To where maybe Nana K starts to feel like, I don't know, I don't really like this. It would be like, kind of like Talk Me situation, right? Like, I don't know, it seems like she's trying to control stuff a little too much, or this, that, and third. And then somebody else might come into Nana K's corner where they're like, yeah, like, I don't know, how do you feel about her talking to you like that? Or how do you feel about her not letting you do this, or getting mad that you have friends? It would just be something like that, honey. But then also Nana K might get mad because it would kind of be like maybe something was Masato. Remember when Masato first came around and Nana O was, all on her doing this, doing that because, that's her fan, this, that, and third. And like, again, it was just weird. Like, you got her sleeping in your bed. You done kissed her before, like all that kind of stuff. That had already had Nana K ruffled. Okay, she was frazzled. She was like, "What is happening right now? Like, and why am I thinking about this right now?" So it would be something like that too, because mind you, if she just keep getting big, she gonna have all these fans, honey. And like you know how Nana O is. Like, Nana O the type to be like, as long as I come home to you at the end of the day, like, why does it matter who I kiss? Like, Nana O's that type. And the thing is with Nana K, she would be in the environment of all these other bands. I'm just talking like if Trap Nest or if Blast were to get really, 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 really big, right? If all this other stuff didn't happen. And she would be in the environment with all these other bands, all these other superstars and pop stars. Come on now, we know Nana K. Her eyes be wandering, honey. They do. She do. And she, like, because it's like you could look at somebody and be like, okay, they're attractive. But Nana K, she'd be like, oh my gosh, they're so handsome and they're this and they're that. And then all they got to do is give her some type of attention. And now she tripping. Now she thinking about them. Now she doing this. Now she doing that. And let's remember, she will go on a date with somebody. Because in her head she's thinking, oh, free food, da, da, da. Remember when she was, I feel like she was in the relationship with Shoji at the time, and she went on a date with her who was it, her manager, her boss, who was working at the store. And even though he took her out, this is a date, okay, but in her head she's like, oh yeah, free food, because she done spent all her damn money shopping at the damn store, okay, to where she barely got food to eat. So she barely got food to eat. So she like, oh, yeah, sure. But then at some point she really did think it was a date. And she was like, oh my God, she's about to confess his love. But she was going to be okay with that. Like, why are you even putting yourself in these predicaments, girl? Like, you should have known, like, no, whatever you got to tell me. No, we don't need to go on this date because I got a boyfriend. Like, no. Same thing with her, with Nana O kissing Nana K. And she was with Shoji at the time. She was like, oh, but it's a girl, right? It doesn't matter. Like, girl. Again, so Nana K will be the type to be, cheating. Not even thinking that she cheating, but she cheating. Or I think it's also called micro cheating. That would be Nana K. That would be Nana K. And yeah, so I feel like they would have problems like that. Like Nana K would be micro cheating or emotionally cheating at some point, whatever the case is. Nana O, what's it called? She might be, a little two player. Okay, a little two player. But also Nana O probably wouldn't be content with just Nana K. And I think that would be a problem too. She'd be like, okay, why do you have to have her around too? Or why do you have to have them around too? Like, am I not enough? You feel me? And I could see Nana O being like, yeah, but you're the one who I love though. Like, why are you tripping? You feel me? Like, again, what's the problem? You feel me? And then I could also see the fact of the matter, it's not healthy in the sense that I feel like healthy relationship, they help you grow, right? They help you grow. Just because their trauma allows them to work does not mean it would allow them to grow. Like their connection would allow them to grow. I feel like they would need to grow being apart and then come together and see if they would work, right? So for example, with Nana K and her always centering somebody else, that would work for Nana O. But is that healthy? No. We need somebody who forces Nana K to realize, hey, I need to go to therapy. I need some help. This is not okay. I have a lot of love to give, but I need to give it to myself first instead of just giving it to other people, right? I need to start knowing who I am for me instead of making my life all about somebody else. But because of how Nana O is and her abandonment issues, I don't think she would ever be pushing Nana K to do that. I don't want you to learn who you are. I don't want you to, because what if you learn who you are and realize that you should start centering somebody else or yourself instead of me? What if you leave me? I don't want to get left. Like, again, those abandonment issues that will come up. So I don't think Nana O would push her to be the best version of herself. No. She already referred to her as a dog, as Hachi. Like, who wants, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, if somebody, she was always like, yeah, I always wanted a dog anyway, so I guess this works. Like, you act like that anyway. But like, why? Because they will always be there. Loyal, right? That's what dogs, they usually say. Dogs are loyal. She would always be there, right? If Nana K started really learning who she is and stopped centering other people, she's afraid of being alone. Similar to Nana K. Nana K doesn't want to be alone, right? Nana O doesn't like when people leave. She doesn't want to be alone either. So that isn't healthy. It isn't. I don't think they would be healthy. I feel like in the moment, like all this BS wouldn't have happened in this way and to this extent in Nana if they were to have just been together, but they would have had their own problems and they wouldn't have been able to help each other grow. I feel like they would be ultimately, right? The growth that they need. I feel like they would have helped each other grow in a sense of like Nana O balances Nana K out with when it comes to like, just having her head in the clouds too much. And Nana K balances Nana O out by like just bringing that warmth, right? Because Nana O didn't have her mama in her life. So Nana K would kind of be like that, kind of like a maternal figure, always bringing that warmth, always coming home with a smile and doing this and cooking and cleaning and all that kind of stuff, right? That support system, supporting her, congratulating her, just being her cheerleader, right? But when it comes to actually growing and the change and the self-love that they both need, I don't think that they can really provide that for her. Nana K would need to be around people like Junko that forces her to grow, gives her the hard truth, right? Everybody mad at Junko, but that's what she needs, right? That's what Nana K needs. And yeah, so yeah, that's how I feel like their relationship will go. And again, not saying that they can never be together. I feel like they would just need to be apart to actually grow and to heal from stuff, and then they could probably come back together. So hey, it'll be like the time skip, right? But then who knows? Would they be able to really work, or would they be better off as friends? I don't know, because now they don't have those traumas to fill those voids for each other. So I don't know, but that's what I feel. Yes, and I actually feel that if Nana was, let's say it wasn't called Nana, let's say the shit was called Junko, and it was told from Junko's perspective, there wouldn't even be that many Nana K defenders. And it's okay being a Nana K fan and even a Nana K stan, right? But a Nana K defender, I feel like their whole purpose is no matter what to defend Nana K. So it doesn't matter what she does, what she says, how bad she's in the wrong. Your whole thing is you're gonna defend her, right? That's a problem. I feel like anybody who just religiously defends any character it's a little dangerous doing that, because it's like that means you can't look at things objectively. That means you can't hold that person accountable. And the reason why I say it's a little dangerous, because if you're doing that with a character, you probably do that with people in real life too. And people could, people get away with terrible things when they have somebody in their corner just always a yes man or a yes woman, like, no, you're not in the wrong, no, because they rely on that, right? They rely on somebody being in their corner, or somebody seeing things only from their perspective and always seeing them as the victim or as the innocent one. But I promise, if we were not seeing it from her perspective and we were seeing it from Junko's perspective, everybody would be like, oh, that girl, she always in some mess. She's always in some mess, and she do not heed the advice at all. A lot of people would be able to see it from Junko's perspective, right? But that makes sense. That's just like that movie, You. That movie, You, with the guy Joe. And if you've seen that, or that's that show. If you've seen that show, this man is a whole serial killer. But because the show is told from his perspective, there's points where you start to sympathize for him and empathize with him, because you're hearing his thoughts and you're seeing the world from his eyes. And then at the last season, we're able to see for, I think, maybe one episode, how he looks to other people, what really is happening. And you realize, oh my God, I low-key forgot this dude was crazy, and he looked crazy, and he acting crazy. He's crazy. And it should be well, duh, common sense. You feel look what he's doing in the show. But it's because it's told from his perspective, he always finds a way to justify stuff, right? He always finds a way to become the victim. Even when I'll just say, there's a point in time where he creates somebody, a whole different persona, that it seems like they're the one doing stuff, or they're the one making him do stuff, when really it's him. And we find out, oh my God, that's a figment of his imagination. It was him this whole time. He's not the victim. And it reminds me of with Nana K, this demon lord. Oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make a video on that. This demon lord that she creates to always let herself be the victim, when it's no, these are your actions that you're doing. You just need to change. Stop doing this shit. Straight up. But again, people like that keep doing stuff, they need to have something else that they could hold accountable. Oh, it's the demon lord. Or, oh, for that show You, I'm not going to say it because that's going to basically spoil it. But oh, it's that person, right? And it's okay, no. Or even with Interview with a Vampire, right? Because I've been talking about that too. We get to see the story from different points of views, and the story is different because of how they remember it and how they were feeling about it. But we were hearing this story from Louis, thinking that's how things went down, exactly like that. And then later on, you find out what really happened, and you see Lestat's point of view, okay, or Armand's point of view, or whatever the case is. Perfect example, right? So it's when you see something from somebody's point of view, of course you're going to always side with them. But if we were to see it from Junko's point of view, we'd probably be oh God, you'll be able to see this don't make no damn sense at all. Okay. So yeah, it's realistic. And that's why I'm just there's a reason why Nana K, she never gets upset with Junko. There's a reason why Nana K, she values Junko so much and values what she tells her. All that tough love, she values it because she knows Nana. She knows Nana K. She knows her better than any of us, okay? Right? She's known her way longer, right? So, and she never steered her astray in that sense. If you really look at the things that she said to her, she's never steered her astray, okay? It might not have sounded nice. You might not have wanted to hear it. You might not have liked her delivery. but she wasn't wrong. You get what I'm trying to say? So you might, and you be like, I still don't like Junko. That's fine, honey. Nana K like her. She actually love her, and that's what matters, right? So it's like, yeah, I feel like if we were to see it from Junko's perspective, or even somebody else's perspective, not Nana O's though. If you saw it from Nana O's perspective, she probably see her, she can't do nothing wrong. She's always the victim, right? Just like Nobu, can't do nothing wrong. Nana K is always the victim. It can't be somebody who's in love with her. You get what I'm trying to say? Because now their feelings are diluting the image. It has to be somebody like Junko that can see her objectively. She don't got no romantic feelings toward her, so she can see it and call it as it is. Call a spade a spade. I feel like everybody needs at least one person in their corner like that can call a spade and call them out. Like, hey, I love you, but you dead wrong right now. So wrap it up, change it up, do something different. And also, I would have loved to see Nana told from Junko's perspective, because I want to know Junko's backstory. You feel me? And I also want to know, like, during all this time, what Junko was doing, and how sometimes, even though she would give her the advice and this, that, and the third, I want people to see, like, what Junko was probably going through, right? Everything seems perfect because, she has, just like how Nana K was saying, oh, you guys have the perfect relationship, da 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 da. And she's like, our stuff ain't perfect. Like, yeah, we got a relationship, but nothing's perfect. And she was like, just the other day, he was like, please don't talk about me while I'm here. And she's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, like, they were going through their stuff too, but she still makes time to go out her way and give you advice, give you food when you hungry, right? Like, be up when you come to her door at all times of the night, whatever the case is. And it's like, and not just that, but been doing that for years, okay? But even back in high school. So it's like, and being there when you cry to pick up the pieces, right? Like, being that friend, that is exhausting, but you love that person. So it's like, okay, some people don't stay friends with people like that. They don't. But she did. You get me? Now, she low-key didn't have it. I mean, she had a choice, but she low-key didn't have a choice because she wanted to just go to Tokyo by her damn self. And then she was like, oh, Lord, here we go. Now everybody want to go where I want to go. Damn. But I think she knew, if Nana goes to Tokyo, I can't just not talk to her. That's my friend. You feel me? So it's like, it would have been better if she would have just stayed her ass out there, okay, and let me go pursue my damn dreams, because you didn't really have nothing to do out here until you start being with Shoji, right? Like, Kyosuke want to come with me, now Shoji want to come, and now Nana K want to come. Like, damn. Okay, Junko should have just left by her damn self and shouldn't have told nobody nothing. She should have just told them after she was already out there, already had her damn apartment, honey. Like, that's what should have happened. Okay, if she just wanted to do it like that. But hey, she got Kyosuke. He knew. He said, I see a good woman when I see it. I'm not leaving her. It is what it is. I'm going where she going. Yep, I'm going where she going. So, but yeah, I would have loved to see that. Just to see how different their choices were. Like, when she was faced with difficult decisions, what did she do? What was her thought process? I would love to have seen that, because I feel like a lot of people need to see that kind of stuff, because it's not just the ages. Because sometimes people be like, oh, we gotta understand that they were only 20, and I'm like, yeah, but Junko 22, Kyosuke 22. He they all 20, and they don't all make mistakes or make choices like that. It's because of different trauma and things like that. So again, everybody need therapy, but yeah, I would have loved to see stuff from Junko's perspective. That would have been cool. Yeah, of course. I feel like if Takumi didn't call them up and break the news to them like that, it would have went totally different. But again, Nana K withheld that information from them for a little while. It falls on Nana K. It does. At the end of the day, if that whole situation with Nobu and Takumi, like, that whole situation fell on Nana K, period. No matter how you look at it. Because, for one, her just ending stuff with Takumi so quick and not really truly ending it. I mean, like, she was like, oh, I don't ever want to talk to you again. Whatever. But it wasn't, like, serious. Because even Takumi didn't take it seriously. Because we know how Nana K, she just be flip-flopping. And whenever Takumi pull up, she folding. So it's like, he like, okay, whatever. I would just see her later. Thinking that it was just an argument instead of, like, an actual breakup. Instead of, like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I want to be with somebody else. Or I don't want to date you anymore. I'm done dating you. Don't come around here no more. But it was like, and then just to do that and then get with Noble really quickly, like, you're not giving any time for any, like, to see, hey, you're pregnant right now. Like, you feel me? But that's a normal thing too. A lot of women, they're pregnant before they're even pregnant. Shoot, I was pregnant before. I mean, they're pregnant before they even know they're pregnant. I was pregnant before even knew I was pregnant. So it happens. But that's one way. But second way too was the fact of the matter of, like, okay, explain, or even telling everybody first, when as soon as you found out, like, maybe not as soon as you found out, you want to take that moment and just be like, hey, so okay, this is what's going on. But you know, she was around everybody, not telling them, doing this, doing that. It's like, okay, now, like, the longer you take, the harder it's gonna be. But I get it, because she wanted to figure out if she's going to keep it or not, right? So when she figured out she's gonna keep it, it's like, you know, and then Takumi shows up, it's just like, oh God, bro, like, please. But then the third way was just communicating. Like, that's all she had to do. Nobu gave her a chance. Like, please. Like, Nobu, when they were walking, and this is before all this happened, and she was like, if you knew who I really was, you wouldn't even want to be around me. I would just disappoint you. And he was like, okay, well, then disappoint me then. And she was like, what? He was like, disappoint me then, because I don't know. Other than that, I don't know how I'm going to ever stop loving you. I was like, oh, he going to get his heart broken, honey. He's going to get his heart broken. And what did she do? What did she do? But a man that says that, who's that down bad for you, he would have accepted the child. Let's be real. If he just knew that she wasn't cheating on him, and it wasn't it, and even this is the thing, even if Nana would have cheated on Nobu, I feel like he was so down bad and in love with that girl, he would have still took her back. But it was the fact that he didn't even understand what was happening, because his whole thing was like, okay, if she was cheating on me with him, or cheating on him with me, that means she still want him, right? And then, so that was what he wanted to know. Were you ever done with him? Like, was everything that you said to me the truth, or was it a lie? Like, I just need to know, who do you choose? Is it going to be me, or is it going to be him? If it's me, we can work something out. If it's him, you're going to always choose him. It just is what it is. So her not saying anything made that worse. But then too, the next damn day, talking about they going to get married. Oh, that just made it worse. And that's why when Nana O was like, you have to fight for her, he was like, she don't want me. Shit. Obviously, she don't want my ass. Why am I fighting for somebody who don't want my ass? But I promise, if he would have known like that, no, I choose you, Nobu, and she would have verbalized that, and she would have just verbalized, no, that's not what happened. It was this, I was already pregnant when I started dealing with you. Everything would have been different. And he would have been like, okay, cool. So she does love me. She does care about me. This is just a messy situation. I can do that. Okay. But she didn't do that. It is what it is. So it all falls on Nana K. It does. It is what it is. But yeah, that whole situation pissed me off, because it's just like, this didn't even need to happen. All she just need to do is open up her mouth and say some freaking words, bro. But yeah, I feel like if she would have just came and told them, hey, look, I'm pregnant, and I think it's Takumi's, because me and Nobu been being safe. So, but this happened after, like, I mean, this happened before we even started dating Nobu. I feel like, yes, they would have been hurt, but they would be like, okay, we'll figure it out. All right. Nana O would have been like, it's okay, Hachi, I'll take care of you. Nana O lying ass, talking about she didn't take care of her. She ain't taking care of you. But I could see her, feeding her dreams, talking about she gonna take care of her, this, that, and the third. But sadly, especially being older now, how it worked out with Takumi taking care of her financially, that was probably the best way to do that. Because let's be real, the Blast at the time, they ain't have the funds for all that, for a whole child. And who's gonna be truly responsible? That's another thing. Like, who's truly going to be responsible? Yes, Noble, but then he would probably have to stop doing Blast and just go back to the hotel, with his family. So, like she said, she was like, I don't want to put him in that position, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, again, even at one point where she could have just broke up with Takumi, he was like, here, I'll pay child support, but you can just be with your family. You just be, away from me, since you think I got an issue. She could have just did that. Because he know if he's not with her, she could go to Nobu. So I'm like, girl, he giving you a pass. He is. He's giving you a pass. He's okay with taking care of his responsibility. He understands that it's his child, his responsibility. Right? But she didn't want to do that either. So I'm like, okay, this whole thing is revolving around Nana K. But yeah, I do agree. It would have went completely different because that was such a traumatizing event. Like, for you to already, like for Nobu, you'd already not have been talking to your girl for a few days or maybe a week. He was like, yeah, she hasn't really been around this, that, and third. She hasn't really been, talking to me this, that, and third. Then to get a phone call from her phone while you're on the way to go see her, and her ex is on the phone, okay, and that means he's with her at the apartment, and he talking about, oh, our girl is pregnant. Our girl? What? Hello? And then that's how you get the news broken down to you. Was crazy. It's absolutely insane. And then for her to not tell you a damn thing and just be crying and then just say, I'm sorry. Absolutely insane. I'm surprised Nobu didn't crash out, not gonna lie. But he's a lover boy, so it is what it is. Yeah, they did him dirty as hell, though. So, I mean, it makes sense why nobody handled that well at all. And then you got Nana O, who's in love with Nana K. Her heart breaking. She's sliding down the wall, crying. Nobu like, what the hell you crying for? I need to be crying. But they both in love with her. So that's why. Okay? So, and Nana, I could just really see Nana O, like, they didn't show it, but I just know she was just somewhere, because at one point she blacked out, right? Like, we didn't even know what the hell happened. Or, I don't know, I think that maybe she blacked out when she broke the cups. But it's like, I just know that at one point she was in her room, sliding down the wall, talking about, It reminded me of that video on TikTok where it's like, Mom, she effing with no condom on, Mom, no. Like, she going back with her ex and she effing with no condom on, tell her to get back with me. But yeah, all in all, I agree, honey. I agree. Ooh, this is a good observation. And you know what? This is actually a theme that we see in Nana, is like being loyal to a fault. Or like just being loyal to where, even though you're being loyal to this person, it's hurting you, right? We see this with Hachi and Takumi. We see this with Yasu and Nana O. We see this with Rin and Nana O. And we also see this with Yasu and Rin as well. So I feel like it's kind of parallels, right? But I feel like it's more of like a common theme. So, for example, like, yes, Rin being, really loyal to Nana O, but at the same time, I don't think it's just loyalty. I think it's also possessiveness. He doesn't want to give her up because he knows Yasu's gonna take her, and he not gonna be able to survive that, child. He not gonna be able to survive that. But at the same time, it's funny because he think Yasu gonna take her, because let's be real, Yasu was stirring the pot because it was kind of getting annoying. Like, let's be real, he like, look, I'm letting you have Nana O, because let's be real, when you left, you did fuck up, but at the same time, I told you to leave because you wasn't gonna go nowhere for real in this little town that we was in. And I love you, and I really do want, like, you love this rock star shit more than I do. So I want you to go ahead and do what you need to do and go far and get the career that you needed. And, because, look, we were raised up orphans. Like, you deserve this more. And we see that in, like, Yasu's backstory. Well, it really wasn't his backstory, but back in the day, Yasu, the reason why he ended up going into the rock band in the first place was because of Rin. It wasn't because he was so passionate about being in a rock band. It wasn't because of that. It was because Rin wanted more people to be in a rock band so that he could perform. And so he just went ahead and did that. And he wanted to make his adoptive parents happy by, being like, oh, I want this for Christmas or for my birthday or whatever it was. Because he really was like, I'm cool, I'm chilling, So a lot of his stuff is for Rin. All right. So imagine liking a girl and then not pursuing her because technically that's your brother's girl. Like, you get me? But then they keep playing games and not being together. But now they separated. So like, now the girl all up in your face, she's literally throwing herself at you over and over and over again. But then y'all not together. I mean, they not together and they playing games. What the hell? I'm gonna need y'all to get together. So I kind of understand, you feel me? I kind of understand, like, with him starting the pot, being like, look, if you don't get her and be with her, I'ma get her. I don't think he was ever really gonna get with Nana. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Yasu was ever gonna truly get with Nana O because he loves Rin too much. But it was just putting that fire under Rin's ass, right? I feel like Yasu, he's loyal to Nana O in the sense of like, okay, I'm gonna kind of abandon my lawyer duties, or like even, you know, lawyer and training duties, to be able to do this for you, because I know you really want this, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, you know, be a part of the band for you. But with Ren, his loyalty is even, you know, it's even more, because that's a bro bond. You feel me? That's a brother bond. And he respects that. That's one thing about him. He really does respect that, to where no matter how many times Nana O threw herself at him and there were so many opportunities, he did not take it. So, of course, all those times he was suffering. He was suffering, and he's being loyal to a fault, right? Because it was the perfect opportunity. Yasu and Nana O could have been together. Could have, but then he would have messed up that relationship with Ren. So he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And you got to think about it. Even though he knew that Ren leaving was gonna hurt Nana O, and it was gonna mess up the band and all that other stuff, he was still super loyal to Ren, because it's like, when you ask for somebody to be your person, or you like your best friend or your brother, your sister, you want them to always be looking out for the best for you, right? To where, even though it caused a lot of drama, this, that, and the third, and Nana O didn't like it, whatever the case is, for Ren's musical career, it was the best decision to take that offer from Trap Nest. It was. And so Yasu, he knew that was the best decision for what Ren wanted to do, and that's why, you feel me, that's why he was like, you know what, you need to go ahead and do this. Now, when it comes to loyal to the point of self-destruction, I feel like Ren was kind of the only one who self-destructed, right? I feel like everybody else is just kind of like loyal to a fault. I feel like Ren was the only one who took it that far, and it was mainly because of the drugs, to be real. But, you know, he was already doing these drugs. We don't really see Ren doing drugs in the very, very beginning, but let's be real, Ren grew up around, you know, he grew up in the rock star scene. You feel me? As a child, he was around older women and, you know, sleeping with older women, doing this, doing that. So who really knows what he was doing, drinking, smoking? So let's be real. He probably was, you know, dabbling in a lot of stuff anyway. Even from the beginning, it was kind of like, you know, insinuating that, right? I think things got worse once he moved to Tokyo and he was apart from Nana. Because let's be real. I'm not going to lie, Nana O and Ren's relationship is toxic. Even when they're together, they're talking about, you know, if you die, I'm gonna die too, and this, that, and the third. If you die, you gotta take me with you, yada, yada, yada. It was giving Edward and Bella. It was giving Edward and Bella from Twilight. And even then, when we were younger, we were kids watching Edward and Bella from Twilight, we thought that was so cute. And I was like, as you get older, you're like, this is a toxic ass relationship. That's why they make the connection to Romeo and Juliet in the movie, because this is toxic as hell. This is not cute, actually. So even though they may have loved each other or was in love with each other, it does not mean that it was ever healthy. So, you feel me? So, but point of the matter is the theme of loyalty to a fault to the person, right? Hachi, Nanake, of course, loyalty. But again, you know, I won't even say that. I feel like it'll be loyalty. It'll be like it's masked as loyalty. You feel? Stay with me. It's masked as loyalty, because let's be real. You have Ren, where it's like, again, it seems like it's loyalty to self-destruction, where really the self-destruction is coming from his drug addiction, right? Which, like I said, I don't think just happened overnight. I think it just got worse as time progressed. And I do feel like the separation from Nana O, and her like, you know, resenting him from leaving, it did progress that. But I don't think it just happened out of nowhere. For one, but and even if it did happen out of nowhere, that wasn't from like the loyalty. That was from, you know, just the despair of like a breakup, right? For one, but for two, again, it's not just loyalty to her. It's not just loyalty to her. It's also possessiveness. He does not want to let her go. Like, he was like, I feel like a child. I don't know. Like, that's even with him saying, I want to get married. Like, he was just like, I didn't know why. I just thought that was the only way I could keep her. You know, I don't really understand the true meaning of marriage. It was just, you know, I'm grasping at straws, just trying to keep this girl for real. And because I don't want Yasu to get her. At that point, that's selfish as hell. Because, again, you just want to trap this person. That's why I thought that the name Trap Nest was so interesting. Because I'm just like, it seemed like everybody was trapped in that thing. Like, other than Naoki, because Naoki seemed like he really do enjoy shit. But, like, Everybody else was trapped in some way, shape, or form by, even if not the band, maybe an idea, a concept in some way, shape, or form, or trapped by somebody's love, like how Rayra is like trapped by her love of Takumi. Like, you know, even if she were to get with somebody else, her heart's always gonna be with him, whatever the case is. Takumi has trapped himself in this role of being like, kind of like the manager, the leader, the one that manages things, because it's as if he's still trapped from his childhood in that role. But now he's the one who put himself in that role. So you kind of like trapped yourself. And I always thought the term trap nest, it was okay, these people are trapped, but like, you know, what a nest, like if you think of like birds, eggs, you know, producing, I always thought like, okay, even though they're trapped, they do produce amazing music. You feel me? So it's like a trap nest. I always thought of something like that. That may be off, but it makes sense to me. So then you also have Ren, who's like trapped from his addiction, right? By his addiction, but also like trapped, I feel like, from his guilt as well for even leaving in the first place and trying to choose himself and pursue what he really wanted to do. And so now he's just trying to make up for stuff and also just trying to salvage what he had. But it's just like, you feel me? And then Nana K, I mean, she been self-destructing the whole manga. So it's kind of like, okay, she was doing that even before Takumi came into play, being like, you know, she self-sabotages, but then she blames it on the Demon Lord. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't think her thing was loyalty to a fault. Honestly, that's why I say masked, because even her loyalty to Takumi is not even just really loyalty to Takumi. It's because she's afraid of being alone, and she said that. So I feel like maybe it's a common theme of like it being masked, right? But this was a good observation, because yeah, we haven't talked about that yet, just like the theme of it all. But yeah, y'all, I'll be on Twitch. I will be on Twitch very soon. I'm gonna drop all that information, and we're gonna be talking about this, and we're gonna have a back and forth. It's gonna be really nice.